Good morning. GM, good morning. Artist Journal, August 25th, 2022, Berlin. My name is Adrian Pocobelli, your artist reporter, on the scene. Here to fill you in. I mean, you probably, considering this crowd, you might know more than I do about what's going on. And this is not a news show because that is a whole nother order of commitment, and which I am not doing. This is an artist journal, so I just kind of talk about what I see in the world that interests me for a few minutes, and then kind of maybe a slight update on what I'm up to. And then off we go. And it's actually been fabulous. The numbers are surprisingly good. So people seem to like it. So I appreciate all the positive feedback. I mean, that stuff makes a difference, especially when, I think I had 66 views, which when you kind of start with zero. I mean, let's just do an update here. 68 views on The Myth Is Not a Joke. Now, maybe people see The Myth. It's probably what's going on and they go, wow. But overall, the numbers are quite robust, considering we're starting from nothing and we're a week in. 38 views yesterday, 47, 51, 66 subscribers. I think we're up 30 subscribers since last week. So again, in absolute terms, you might say, oh, well, that's pretty tiny, which I'm super cool with, by the way. I don't mind tiny. I don't need 100,000 people watching me. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. That doesn't sound fun. Maybe if I grow with it, then it's kind of, but, let's not put the cart before the horse here. This is just about right. And I like the growth. We are basically up 100% on the week. So that is fabulous growth. And just like the Tezos art scene, man, you start small and then you grow. And it's super fun. So I'm off to get a haircut pretty soon, in about 20 minutes or so. Actually, maybe less. So we have to work quickly here. I wanted to touch... Maybe I have it here. I think I loaded it up. I wanted to just touch on this vending NFTs thing, which looked really cool. Again, another Tezos event. Just go to @Tez Vend Machine. You still have time. I just did this. I first bought actually one of those pieces. I'll show you. These are the three I got right here. This is my burner wallet because I don't like to connect my regular Tezos wallet to just an external website. I think it's just out of respect to the artists who have one of ones on that wallet. I don't connect that to anything other than object. But I kind of FOMO'd into buying this piece because it finally became available. I got it for $4.50, and then I was like, oh, you use the vending machine to get it, but it's just such a great piece. I didn't want to miss it. And but anyways, and then I got these other two great pieces by Redrum. The Uncommon Story of a Red Canvas. So interesting also for the Tez Vending Machine event. It looks like it has some AI in it too. And actually, speaking of AI, I don't know if I'm going to do a live thing on AI, but I'm going to start experimenting, and that'll also give us some really interesting things to talk about in this journal. And let's not miss that last piece that we got. And then we got this piece by an artist called Mighty Moss. The Upper Hand Raises the Bar. So a pretty fun work. What is this? A GIF, 2000 by 2000, art by Mighty Moss. So really cool stuff. It's just fun, and there's great music. It's selling quickly, though. So, if you're watching this and it's recently uploaded, I'm going to play the music. You might want to act fast because there was 330 half an hour ago. Let me see. There was music coming off this thing. I think it was when you buy something. Yeah. How cool is that? So I think Flexosaurus has something to do with that. And the real art of the deal. I don't know. You guys probably know more than I do on this, but it's pretty cool. You gotta love it. So you put in 2 Tezos, you get an NFT, or you put 5 Tezos and you get 3. Super cool. Just got some recent acquisitions. If we go back to my normal wallet, what do we got? So NativeEd gave a piece because I bought the first 3 of his paper series. We'll take a quick look at that. This is a whole other topic that we're going to go into in a future episode. The genres of digital art. I've written an essay on this, actually, and I've kind of identified, and this is not, again, like everything I say, this is not like, I don't say this is the definitive answer, but this is just my take on what I think the genres of digital art are, and there's maybe 7. I loosely call the genre that Nativid does, and again, he's one of these artists you find pretty early, at least I did. I call this kind of animated abstract, for lack of better words. Like there's kind of like, you might call it dynamic abstract, but let's just call it animated abstract. Some really cool works, like you see this piece here off the paper number 2, already selling for 55. I mean, what's funny, he manages his market very nicely. I mean, this was really slow to sell the first one, and look, everything looks like it's like super collected now. And yeah, so he had a slow start on these, but did really well. I mean, probably the second one helped a lot, and also his deal of where you buy the first 3, you get the 4th one for free. So we just got this crazy piece. I mean, this guy, like, I mean, my computer's probably a little slow here. It is, actually, so it's not doing justice to this piece. Let me try reloading just to see if we can get a better rendering. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, forgive my computer. It's actually a really good computer. I don't know what's going on here, but it's probably a heavy file. So pretty cool. Here we go. So, you know, that's why I say, like, and we're going to look at another artist too, who is like the friendliest person on Twitter, MemoCat. And MemoCat's work, like, I mean, again, this isn't the sort of thing that I would have necessarily collected before I came to Object and Tezos. But I mean, it's so actually well done. Again, this looks like, you guys like the art history? This looks like Henri Rousseau. I pointed this out on Twitter like a couple of months ago, or whenever this came out, May 26th. Here, I'll give you guys a quick little Henri Rousseau football players. I believe this is the last time I saw this. It was in the Guggenheim in New York. We'll see if it's still there. That was probably like 8 or 10 years ago. Let's see. Title, credit line, Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, New York. All right. So see this? And you see, it's, again, like, I don't know if this is like a new copyright clampdown that now all the art institutions, okay, good. We can actually get a real rendering of this. You know, the more these art institutions clamp down on copyright and make these images small, the more bullish I get on the NFT system, which is just like much more just less encumbered, less you know, it's almost like things are getting like, for lack of a better term, just like over-regulated and just there's just too much. There's just too much overhead. Let's call it that. Too much bureaucracy, too many people want a piece of these dead artists' legacy. And what we saw with Basquiat yesterday, like, do you think Jean-Michel Basquiat would be happy that you can only see a 280 pixel wide rendition of his skull painting? And that's what happens with these foundations. And like, I don't think he'd be happy. He was like a hip hop guy practically. Like, he was a sample artist. He used a ton of photocopying. That was his generation, the 80s, you know? And so anyway, so it is. So this is what I want to point out though, because I'm not sure if Mimi saw this before, but you see this, the kind of just like the overall just style. And Rousseau is beloved by a lot of the modernists, by myself, and by the surrealists. You might be familiar with his jungle paintings. Anyways, that painting reminds me very much of this. And even, was there striped shirt? There's even striped shirts here, guys. There's even the striped shirt. Like, so it's like, and this is kind of what I was getting at here, is this may not have been like, oh, this is the style of art that I make and collect before I came to Tezos, but you have to respect a well-rendered, finished, resolved is actually what I'm going for, artwork and art style. And that is what she has accomplished. I assume it's a she. I'll just call it MemoCat NFT. Friendliest person on Twitter. It's given me lots of retweets when, things are very quiet. Totally appreciate it. And you know what else is interesting is how new this is. Okay, so we see MemoCat here, this one page, but then you go to the next page and you practically see here, that's like the first appearance, thinking of cat. Okay, I don't see a striped, and you see it's like a really early version of MemoCat, February 26, 2022, and you see like the first hints. And who knows, maybe this has been in her head or MemoCat's head for a long time. But it looks like it's all just kind of coming out. And to me, this has like almost the power of a Disney character when you look at it. Like you could imagine a TV show built around MemoCat. And you know what? Like I don't think that's a crazy thought at all. Like give it a year or two. Like that's not a crazy thought. So I happily collect this stuff. I think it's beautiful. It kind of reminds me of Rousseau in a lot of ways. And it's just kind of fun. And it's, again, one of these what I'd call like native internet artists. So props to MemoCat. Something a little different for you today. And her work, or MemoCat's work, is very cheap. Let's just do a quick look. Other than that, yeah, I've been looking at Myth. Thanks for all the love on the Myth video, and congrats to Myth and everybody. Our show, I don't know if we already talked about this. Did we already talk about this? Well, everything's blending into one. It's growing nicely. Look, yesterday we had 12 views. Today we have 68 views on yesterday's video. The views are growing quite well here. 66 subscribers. We're up like 30 subscribers here. So this is awesome in a week. That's 100% almost. What else do we got here? Just interesting work I've been looking at. I picked up a couple of gloom tubes because I think it's kind of like buy it while you can, is sort of my view on this. Like these are semi like iconic, and I keep going back. Like these are works I bookmarked. You see token bookmarked. Use the bookmark function if you're new to Object, by the way. It's very helpful to just keep track of everything. These are works I've come back to over like months, and then finally Tezos is $1.50 or whatever now, so I'm just like, okay, I'll spend $30 for your edition of 20 when we see people like Louis Osborne and Adelia, especially Louis Osborne, blow up. So yeah, so I'm kind of just like, getting some final positioning here. And yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, the update here. So nothing too new, nothing exciting. This is just a journal. And other than that, Rorich put Bez up for 420 Tezos. Thank you, Rorich. I appreciate that. That is awesome. We got some very nice comments, actually. Let me just look quickly here. I don't know if I've seen this one, or at least I was at the party. We're early, we're going to make it. The Louis Osborne drop was sniped by the majority of people within the Discord art community I invited you to on Twitter the other day. Thank you, Ethan Herlihy. Yeah, I'm very reluctant to click on links on Twitter. So yeah, I've just been waiting to get to like a backup computer or something that has zero attachment to any sort of wallet before clicking the Discord links. I hope you understand. But thank you for that. And Myth, the legend, absolutely. And some other comments there. So totally awesome. 13 likes. So this channel is growing quickly, actually. And yeah, so that's exciting. Other than that, as far as work, I'll show you what I gave. I got this out. I'll show you what I gave for the birthday here. Let me do this. So these are the prints I was telling you about. I started this work on 8Badoo when that was becoming a huge thing, and I think it's working again. 8Badoo. So these are based on NFTs, just the 8x8, and so I have a whole series of, I call it 8-bit nature. I think I have about 12, 13 of these now. I made 16, but I edited out 3. So this is fire. So just a quick thing too for the artists that are watching, because it's probably mostly artists watching this, which is awesome. My peeps, here. So if you're making a print, here's just some little kind of tidbits that I've learned along the way. So you see it says A/P. That's artist proof. And basically an artist proof is when you're making your versions, when you get the right one, it's an artist proof. Until then, I think you'd call it T/P, which is test proof or test print. I'm not a total expert on this, but I'm sharing what I've learned. And I used to just sign my name here, Pocobelli. I usually do a HB pencil, but use whatever works for you. But I got an art gallery in the last year, and the dealer, just this gallery out of Minnesota, nothing huge, but I'm on Artsy now, which we can just kind of talk about and look at in a future episode, which is kind of interesting. You see the date? He wanted the date. He's like, it's very important that you put the date with your name. So I put 2022. So this is a A3 plus. I'll show you a test print, actually. So you can see A3 plus. So you see the size. Yeah, so, and you see, I could have cut this off here. I could have cut this off, but it actually looks pretty good in this kind of almost semi-Polaroid sort of way. So anyways, these have been very popular, the physical prints. And so, yeah, so that's what I gave as a gift, and it was well received. So it was awesome. And then I hit NFT. Here's a couple of pictures. I tweeted this, the NFT club in Berlin. I'm not sure how many Tezos peeps were there. Again, I've sort of been to a couple of birthday parties, and I ran into a friend the day before. So I was kind of happy to just kind of have a beer on my own. And then I could have been more social, but I didn't really worry about it. It was, again, just kind of nice to just kind of observe the scene and just see NFT people and be around NFT people. And that was it. So, and then I went home. So there you have it. Let's leave it there. Another episode of the Artist Journal. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.